Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another session with the older man. Today, I would like to talk about just one particular case in paternity court. Yes, the ongoing saga that we have to deal with. Gentlemen, we have to really push harder, much harder, in order to make paternity fraud a crime. It has to be a crime because too many men are being ripped apart, not only emotionally but financially. Yes, it's an old story, but the problem is that what I see in today's environment is that something becomes a hot topic and then it dies. The behavior keeps repeating itself over and over and over. And then what happens? Everybody just sort of goes, well, we've talked about this before, and nothing gets done. This is the problem throughout all societies, not just in America, not just in the UK. Everybody jumps on the trending topics, the hot topics. If no one really makes a big push to get something done, it dies, it's swept under the rug, and then, guess what? All the men just keep suffering in silence. So I'm bringing it up again, and I'm hoping that all of the content creators that deals in the men's space keeps bringing it up, so that more and more men keep talking about it. And then our politicians start pushing it because they realize, hey, this is a topic that men, our voters, actually care about a lot. It's not dying. We better look at it. And eventually, some brave politician is going to pull it up in his state and hopefully make a law. And that's the only way we enable change. Cannot make bad problems stay in the shadows. It has to be brought always into the light. So I'm hoping that with this one case again, we can keep this subject moving. It has to. It's the same thing with the drizzle movement. We can't make that die. So guys, listen, before we go on, you know what I'm always going to ask. Please give me a thumbs up on this message. You know it's going to be good. Okay, do it now before we get too far into the video and then you forget. And by now, guys, you should all know that if you've been following me consistently, hey, the Ask an Older Man community is now open. And I am on my weight loss journey. I've lost another pound for this week. Yes, listen, man, this was supposed to be week 2, and it was supposed to be dropping sugar. I can tell you guys, I'm going to go off topic a bit because I want you guys to understand. Kicking sugar is one of the most difficult things that I ever have to do. Just coming off of cookies, sweets, you know, anything that has hardcore sugar in it, I no longer eat it. And second, all of my carbohydrates I've cut in half, meaning half a cup of rice. Before I used to eat 1 cup of rice, now it's half a cup. Before I used to eat 2 slices of bread for a sandwich, now it's an open face 1 slice of bread. No more cookies. No more pizza. No more high carbohydrate foods. Most of the foods I cook at home. I grill it. I increase my fat intake. I increase my protein significantly. I make sure that I do not get hungry and do not get thirsty. Drink a lot of water and keep my fiber as high as possible. I tell you all of this because this is what we're doing in the community right now. Listen, guys, it's a battle and I want you on that health battle with me. So please go over to the community site on askanolderman.com. If you just want to book a session with me, have a chat about anything, hey, I'm there as well. askanolderman.com. Quick question? If you have a quick question, get me over on Instagram on the same handle. So let's get into today's subject, paternity court. Just one case we're going to look at. But from this one case, there's a lot of things that you can learn. And I'm going to start it from the conclusion. So this is what the judge asked at the end of the session.
You had access to legal counsel and still went on and signed a birth certificate for a child?
Yes, I did.
That you thought was not yours?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. He suspected the child wasn't going to be his. He got legal counsel and he still freaking went ahead and signed a birth certificate making the child legally his. Was it his? Hey, you're going to have to watch the video until the end to find out because that's what we're getting into. Okay, so let's go from the beginning.
Ms. Todd, you are suing your former fiance, Mr. Foster, to prove he fathered your 4-month-old daughter, Selena.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say he called off the wedding due to paternity doubts.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Foster, you say Ms. Todd admitted that she cheated on you during the window of conception, so the baby's not yours.
Yes.
So, Mr. Foster, you called off the wedding.
Yes.
Tell the court why.
Me and Miss Todd, we was engaged. The reason why I called it off was because it was one day a friend of hers, she wanted to go hang out, and Miss Todd told me that it was her friend and his girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, I don't got nothing to worry about. When I went to the store, came back, I had a call saying that she was gone already, and that was kind of suspicious.
Oh, wait, so you're engaged to her.
Yes.
And she says, I want to go hang out with a friend of mine, and it's a guy.
Yes.
But you say, I'm not insecure, so okay. And then what happened?
And then the next day, Miss Todd came back.
She came home the next day?
Yes.
Number one, gentlemen, first lesson. Don't ever make a woman tell you that you're insecure and make it sound like a bad thing. You say to her, yes, I am insecure. You've made me insecure. I do not trust your judgment. You want to go out in that? Yes, I am insecure about your judgment. Because the only reason you would want to go out in that is to draw attention. Am I not right? And if you want to draw attention, and so, how should I feel now that you're with me and you still want other men's attention? Should I feel comfortable with that, or should I feel insecure? Which one do you think would be a normal reaction for someone who cares about his relationship with you? And if she can't understand that logic, my brother, and change her clothes or change her ways, then she has no desire to make her partner feel comfortable. She's perfectly happy making you feel insecure and then blaming you for being insecure. That's when, my friend, you should drop her or put her in a different box. She goes from the marriage material box to the whole box. That's it. We only got 2 boxes, ladies. Marriage material, sex material. That's it. Hit it, no emotion, quit it. Those are the 2. But you do not look at your fiancé and feel insecure. Your woman should never make you feel insecure. Insecurity, my friend, is your brain saying, warning, 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 warning. That's the freaking warning light. It's not a bad thing, gentlemen. Don't let these women gaslight you into thinking that insecurity is a bad thing. It's simply your system warning you that something's wrong. Listen to that freaking system. When that warning light goes off, you listen to it. Cool?
Okay. So go ahead.
So I normally don't go through her phone at all, but her phone just kept on buzzing, and it was a text message, and the text message said, it was good. I want some more.
What?
In my mind, I'm thinking like, you're supposed to be my fiance, and I'm seeing this.
Miss Todd, is this true? You went out with a friend and stayed out all night?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, so did you sleep with him that night?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, that warning light was freaking correct. And most of the time, gentlemen, that warning light is working perfectly. When you have a reason to feel insecure, warning, more than likely you have a reason for it and you're right. Don't ever make a woman convince you that you're the one with the problem. Okay? Classic, my friends. Classic.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, that night, me and my friend went to the store, and then we went back to his place where we was at, and then we was drinking and smoking, and then...
Where was his girlfriend?
She wasn't there, Your Honor.
Oh, so that was a lie?
Yes, Your Honor.
That was a lie from the get-go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So go ahead. So you go to the store.
You go to the store, get something to eat, then we went back to the place, then it just happened. We used protection.
It just happened?
Yes, it just...
Sound like y'all was planning it to me.
No.
So was this the...
Here she lied. So this was planned. From the time you lied to him about his girlfriend being there, that was before the date even started. Now the judge asked her, so this was planned? No, Your Honor. The sex wasn't planned. But I was lying about his girlfriend being there. Why would you lie about a girlfriend not being there if you wasn't planning on hitting it or giving it up the juice. Jesus, man, women can't lie properly. They can't. If you let them talk long enough, they will reveal bullshit.
Is this the only time you had sex with this gentleman?
No, Your Honor.
Wow.
You didn't know that, Mr. Foster?
This is my first time ever hearing about the second time.
Well, let me help you get the details.
Always dig further, my friends. A woman rarely hit it once. That first time, it's never really the best, and she will go back to find out, confirm that it will be better next time. Okay? And if it was really, really good that first time, she's gonna get hooked and she needs some more. It's like a drug. So trust me, my friends, one time is rarely enough to satisfy her. And if it's a real pookie, oh, she's hooked for life. Yeah, if it's a real alpha dude, she's hooked.
Miss Todd.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you had sex with this gentleman again, not just this night, another night as well?
Yes.
Tell me.
He came and got me from the house, and we went back to his place, and it happened again, but we used protection. That's why I felt like Mr. Foster was the father.
So wait a minute, you're engaged to Mr. Foster?
No, not at the time he wasn't.
At the time, you just dating?
Yeah, we was boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. He didn't propose to me. He proposed to me on my birthday. That was the time that he
That was after you had already been intimate with this gentleman more than one time?
Yes.
But you only told Mr. Foster you were intimate with this guy one time?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why didn't you tell him about the other time?
I'm not sure.
This brother is P-whipped. You know cat whipped, but you know what the P stands for? P-whipped is what we call it in the Caribbean, okay? He obviously cannot give this woman up. So gentlemen, this is another big lesson. The minute a woman cheats on you once, it's not going to be the end, my friend. Women don't cheat like men. Men go to relieve themselves. Women go to see what her alternatives are. And if it just so happens to be a pookie who's not going to commit to her, but man, that D was good, you're lost. This is what will happen. You'll be fathering somebody else's child. So that's why it's not worth it.
How soon after this did you find out you were pregnant?
It was 2 months.
Okay, Mr. Foster, you remember the night she told you about being pregnant, right?
Yes.
And you were excited initially?
Yes, I was at first.
Did you tell the other guy you were pregnant as well?
No, because I knew it was a possibility that he wasn't the father. So no, I did not tell the other person. He found out on pictures on Facebook.
Did he ever think he was the father?
No.
Because you know protection is not 100% effective.
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Foster, I want to understand from you. When you initially found out Miss Todd was pregnant, were you happy or not?
Actually, no. I told her that you need to go find your baby daddy because it's not me.
So when she initially told you that, your first reaction was, this is not my child?
Yes, because me and Miss Todd been together for 3 years. And me and her, we had unprotected sex like 2-3 times a day for 3 years. Mrs. Todd have not got pregnant.
Because I didn't get pregnant don't mean that he's not the father.
And then the other thing which sealed the case was when Mrs. Todd finally had the baby, we had sex again. So. And
then he left me when at the apartment by myself. He didn't tell me, that he was leaving. He told me through a text message that we was over. Like, we were supposed to be engaged. He should have told me in person. And then he went.
That's what I gotta understand. I don't understand this. You say you cheated with this guy more than one time before you were engaged.
Yes.
So how'd you get to the point where you found out she cheated, but you still asked her to marry you?
No, we was already engaged first.
She said you weren't.
We was.
Were you or were you not, Miss Todd, engaged when you had your friend come pick you up?
Her birthday is in the summertime, and if I'm not mistaken, it was cold out when the guy came and come
it was
come and get her.
Outside when he came, it was warm.
So, Ron, I ain't never heard this before. They don't know whether or not they were engaged. He was engaged. She was not engaged. So you, in your mind,
you were... see the wedding cake right there? That's on her birthday.
Oh, and there's the ring.
August 8th.
Yes, that...
So now, does that refresh your memory?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you engaged when you had this man come pick you up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you for that proof, Mr. Foster. That's why you bring proof to court.
Wow. Oh, man. Imagine that, my friends. These women have no respect for the sanctity of a man getting on one knee. None. There's a part 2.
During your pregnancy, he wasn't involved at all?
No. I wanted him to go to see the ultrasound pictures with me, and I have proof right here that I have. He didn't want to go.
What proof did you bring? Ron, will you please hand me this proof? What is this, Ms. Todd?
When I found out what I was having, I wanted him to be there. He wasn't there at all.
This is your ultrasound?
Yes.
And then during this ultrasound, you were alone?
Yes, I was alone with a family member, and I wanted him to be there with me.
And he just didn't show?
No, he didn't come. I had text messages showing that, asking him to come to my ultrasound and my appointments with me. He didn't come to none at all.
Because in your mind, you're thinking, this is the man I was engaged to be married to. We were having unprotected sex. I did cheat. However, I used protection then, and he should still be there for me.
Yes.
Let's be honest, Ms. Todd. You made a very bad mistake.
I know I made a mistake. I admit to doing my wrong. I wanted him to be there. I wanted him there for the whole beginning of my pregnancy.
The judge laid it out in the most absurd, ridiculous sense, and she agreed with it. You understand how female minds work, my friends? This woman have no remorse, none whatsoever. Yeah, I cheated. Yeah, so what? Yeah, I disrupted your life. But you know what? You didn't come to the hospital when I went to do the ultrasound. That makes you the horrible person. Who gives a shit who the baby's for? Who cares if I cheated? Whew, man. Gentlemen, I'm trying to get you inside a female's head so that you can understand what you have to deal with. Now I know you ladies are going to come at me. Well, not all women think like this. Don't come with that, please. Reality of it is, most of you don't think at this degree of craziness. But in every single one of you, there is this degree of delusion.
I wanted him to be there. I wanted him there for the whole beginning of my pregnancy, the whole time through, like taking pictures with me. I didn't have no pictures, no memories with him holding my stomach or nothing at all.
Did you hear anything about I was sorry? Nothing. Not one word. Yeah, I know I was wrong. Yeah, but I wanted him to be there for my pregnancy. Yeah, nothing about, yeah, I'm sorry for what I did. No remorse whatsoever. It's all about me. Why the hell you weren't there? You should have been there paying those bills. That's what you should have been doing.
That's all I wanted.
Because I'm not the father.
He is the father. That baby looked just like him. Look at that baby right there.
But I'm not the father.
You brought a witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ma'am, please stand. So, Ms. Foster, I need to understand, you are Mr. Foster's mother.
Correct.
Why don't you believe your son is not this child's father?
Ms. Todd admitted that the other guy was the father. I was in Vegas. I received a phone call from my son stating that Mrs. Todd didn't have a place to stay. Once I made it back home, I sat her down at the table and I asked her, was it a chance that my son was the father? She said that this other guy was the father.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I said it was a possibility that Mr. Foster or the other guy could be the father.
So you told her that there's a possibility that someone else could be the father?
Yes, I did,
But
Your
you
Honor.
stated in court today that you said there was no way you thought this other guy could be the father because
the condom broke, so it could be a possibility.
Oh!
Yes.
You left that part out of your early testimony.
Ms. Todd is a liar.
Continue, Ms. Foster. So, during your pregnancy, he wasn't involved at all?
No. I wanted him to go to see the ultrasound pictures with me, and I have proof right here that I have. He didn't want to go.
What proof did you bring? Ron, will you please hand me this proof? What is this, Ms. Todd?
When I found out what I was having, I wanted him to be there. He wasn't there at all.
This is your ultrasound?
Yes.
And then during this ultrasound, you were alone?
Yes, I was alone with a family member, and I wanted him to be there with me.
And he just didn't show?
No, he didn't come. I had text messages showing that, asking him to come to my ultrasound and my appointments with me. He didn't come to none at all.
Because in your mind, you're thinking, this is the man I was engaged to be married to. We were having unprotected sex. I did cheat. However, I used protection then, and he should still be there for me.
Yes.
There is a part 3, my friends. There's a part 3.
As I was saying, I told her that she needs to take a DNA test with this guy. And family members of hers were calling me, let me know that this guy was the father. He didn't want to be involved.
Hold on. You had her family members calling you to say that this other guy, this friend, was really the father.
Correct.
But that guy just didn't want to be involved.
Exactly.
Yep, Pookie to the T right there. She had to give it up to Pookie. Now guess what? Pookie don't give a shit about you. You talking about having a baby for me? I was just hitting it, girl. I was just tearing it up. I don't care about you. You made me hit it raw. I don't give a shit. You're nothing to me. Don't call me about baby. Are you crazy? That's what Pookie does. You ladies don't get it. You don't make men like that hit it, and worse, hit it raw. Because those men don't care. The man says, I don't want anything to do with this. If he was a good man, he would have said, all right, listen, I'll step up to my responsibility, because if it's mine, it's my child. I gotta step up. But this man said, plain and straight, not interested, not part of my life, not interested, period. Yeah, that's when you know it's a Pookie.
What you felt like your son was just the next best case scenario.
Exactly.
Continue.
I had told my son, I said, if you're going to be with her, you might as well marry her and get over the fact that the child may not be yours. And he signed the birth certificate.
Mr. Foster, why did you sign that birth certificate if you're standing in court today saying the entire time you had so much doubt?
The reason why was because I was the only guy that was there that had stepped up.
So you came to the birth?
Yes.
You were there?
Did you hear what that mother said? Did you hear this is the problem with single mothers. This man do not have another man in his life. Oh, it's painful to watch it. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Told my son, I said, if you're going to be with her, you might as well marry her and get over the fact that the child may not be yours. And he signed the birth certificate.
The judge is in disbelief. The judge is in disbelief. I wish the judge had said, why would you give your son such poor advice? Jesus, man.
Why did you sign that birth certificate if you're standing in court today saying the entire time you had so much doubt?
The reason why was because I was the only guy that was there that had stepped up.
So you came to the birth?
Yes.
You were there?
Yes.
You participated?
Yes.
So you
named her, everything.
Jesus, man. So his mother. This is what happens when men are surrounded by other women. They only have their own interests in mind. This mother threw her son under the bus just to freaking protect the sisterhood. You might as well marry this girl. Oh, man. That gets me here, guys. Oh, that gets me here.
Really?
I drove her to the delivery room.
These are pictures of you in the hospital. Beautiful. So at that moment, you just stepped up, or did you say, I really think I'm this child's father now?
Well, it was like more as I'm a step up, and I'm gonna be a man since Mrs. Todd is staying with us.
But you did not believe the child was yours.
If he didn't believe the child was his, why would he sign the birth certificate?
Did you understand at that time?
I wanted her to have my last name. He was so adamant for my daughter to have his last name.
Were you adamant about that, Mr. Foster?
Well, yeah. Yes, I was.
So let me ask you this. Did you know when you signed that birth certificate that you were acknowledging you were this child's legal father?
Yes, I did.
So at that point, you just decided to step up and say, I'm going to be this child's. Because listen, whether or not we determine you are the biological father today, let's be clear. You are the legal father, and you're responsible for her.
First of all, let's rewind. The second he found out that she cheated, he should have just skipped out. Get out. Don't sleep with her again. Because any woman that you asked to marry you and she became your fiancé and then she decides to cheat on you, you know that you're going to be in for a very rough ride in your marriage. And it's going to come to a horrible end pretty soon. So he should have skipped from there. But no, the P was probably so good and he had all of this influence, this female influence around him. He had no males telling him, hey. Red flags, man. The red flags should have been flying high. Many of them. But no, He freaking stayed there. Then he got her pregnant. Now guess what? He's in court. Whew. There is a part 4.
I mean, it is an admirable thing for you to say no other man showed up and this baby wasn't going to have a father, so I'm going to stand up. But if you then come to court to contest the fact that you are the biological father, it begs the question, why sign the birth certificate in the first place?
Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Todd?
I just feel the baby is his. You know, she looked just like him.
Well, you know, feeling don't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Let me tell you something. I wish it had something to do with it.
Right.
The feeling part is what got you here, but it's not going to be what gets you out of here. The truth is going to get you out of here.
I have pictures.
Let me see the pictures. Ron, hand me this proof.
Yes, ma'am.
What are these pictures of?
Of him and Selena. He was 4 years.
Listen, people will see whatever the hell they want to see. All this woman is trying to get some emotional freaking connection. That's all. And gentlemen, when women run this game on you, no, she looks just like you. She's trying to get you to emotionally connect to that child. Do not ever fall for that scam. Look at her. She looks just like you. Of course that's your child. Why do you need to get a DNA? Of course that's your child. Gentlemen, don't fall for that bullshit. Because human beings, we can connect the dots on anything we put our mind to. Look at that nose. Look at that. Look at how her eyes slant up. When 90% of the freaking population, their eyes slant up, it doesn't slant down. Look at how her lips are. Look at how thick her lips are. And they can pick apart minute details that resembles you, and then they tell you that that's your child. Trying to convince you to stay, gentlemen, and pay for a child that she cannot afford to keep on her own. That's what happens. So don't ever make a woman try to manipulate you saying, oh, she looks like you. Because you can easily find any minute resemblance, and then your brain start putting that puzzle together nicely. Don't mean shit. But that DNA, my friend, that when you get down to the cellular level, that shit don't lie. That's what you need.
So at the point your son signs his birth certificate, that's why you said to him, well, you signed the birth certificate, now you might as well marry her.
Yes, because he was advised not to do it.
Oh, you told him don't do that.
Me and a friend of mine, which is an attorney.
All right, I'm confused. She said earlier that you might as well marry this woman. Now she's going back and saying, oh, we advise you not to do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. So this is the final episode, my friends. This is it. We're going to hear the final outcome to it.
And still went on and signed a birth certificate for a child
Yes, I did.
that you thought was not yours.
Yes, I did.
You understand that even if today's testimony and the DNA results prove that this is not your biological child, that does not automatically get you off the hook legally for being responsible for this baby. Do you understand?
Yes.
Miss Todd, now you're in tears. What are you feeling?
I want to know who her father is. This, it's emotional to me.
Now.
Him not stepping up to the plate because that baby looked just like him.
But listen, what I just heard you say, and it's okay. Look, this is a sensitive situation. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with a tear. But I just heard you say, I just am ready to know who her father is.
Yes.
So the truth is, you really don't know.
No.
Okay. Mr. Foster, I just have to ask you briefly before we get to results. I see you standing there, and I know at certain points it's been hard for you to even testify today, and I see the look in your eyes. You've tried to step up to the plate for this baby, even though people advise you not to. How has this whole situation affected you?
It's affected me by a lot. Like far as, by me growing up, not having a father, so that was the only reason why I did what I did.
I understand.
Oh, man. So many men are just destroyed by their mothers. Can't keep the father in the house. Having baby after baby without a man. It just hurts me so often when I see this, man. Boys growing up without fathers. Boys who have become females with a penis. Because this is all that I'm seeing right here. Guys, for those men that are watching this, man, it's you know what I'm talking about. And ladies, you don't realize what you do when you go out there and you have kids and don't keep the man in the lives of boys. They become men like this. And maybe you like that because now you can abuse the hell out of these men. You can take advantage of them. But really, it is a sorrowful sight to see. Let's conclude.
I knew there had to be a good reason. Oh, it's okay, honey.
And I did so good by this little girl for 3 months. It's like, I don't know.
And now the doubts are just eating away at you.
Yeah.
I understand. And now I can see clearer what your intentions were. So even though people were advising you not to do it, you were basing your actions on your own personal life experience of not having a dad. And you didn't want this beautiful little girl to experience what you did.
Yes.
I understand.
Gentlemen, do not let your poor life experiences perpetrated by your parents, whether it's your mother or your father, dictate how you overcompensate in life as you become an adult. I've seen this many, many times. Consult another man, rational individual. Have mentors. Have other men who live the life that you would like to have. Ask them, get their opinions, and take it. Take their advice. Don't freaking ignore it. And I know that's difficult because you have been bred by a female who has literally groomed you to look at everything from an emotional perspective. So even though you get good advice from a rational person, you will resort back to your female bred thinking. But you got to fight that programming because this is the position you're going to put yourself into. Please understand this, gentlemen. All right, I'm going to not talk right through the rest of this now so you can finish this.
I think it's time for the results.
Yes, Judge.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Todd v. Foster, when it comes to 4-month-old Selena Foster, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Foster, you are her father.
Oh, I told you so. I told you was her father. I told him he was not there.
All right.
I told you. She looked just like you.
I'm sorry, Chantel.
She looked just like you.
This brother missed that bullet. Oh, he was lucky. Lucky. Right through this entire episode, that woman did not say, I am so sorry I put you through this. She looks just like you. I told you she looks just like you. Nothing. Who the hell said sorry? He did. I'm sorry for making you feel bad because you put me through this shit by opening your legs to another man. He freaking apologized to her. Think about that shit. Think about it. And all she's concerned about is she was right saying that the baby looked like him. That, my friend, is female thinking. This guy is in for a freaking hard life with this woman. I would never, ever even recommend that he freaking come near her. He should be a baby daddy and stay the hell away from her. Thankfully, he has a girl. That girl could be raised by the mama, but I don't think he'll do that because he's already gone through lack of daddy issues from the mother who put him through that. So he's going to be sucking up at this woman and she's going to suck him dry and she's going to be sleeping with whoever the hell she wants. There will be other baby daddies. Trust me. Oh, my friends, listen, I'm going to conclude this one here. I hope you guys learn a lot from this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please join our community. Book a chat with me if you'd like to have a chat. And remember, gentlemen, if you don't have a father, if you don't have an uncle, if you don't have another male figure that could give you rational understanding of life, give me a call. Book a session, okay? And remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.